What if you could grow your investments and protect them at the same time? Mutual funds are great, but when the market drops, you're exposed and there are no guarantees. With segregated funds, they offer 4 guarantees that's going to help protect your money. So let's take a run through them and stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you the biggest, most important guarantee that my clients love about segregated funds. So there's what's called a principal guarantee. So a principal guarantee means that when you invest your money in a segregated fund, at the end of it depends on which segregated fund you invest in. Typically, they have a 10 to 15 year guarantee period. Now, you're not locked in like you are with the GIC. It's just the maturity guarantee, which means that at the end of that 10 to 15 year term, if the market has dropped substantially, they will top your money back up to the original amount that you invested. So if it's $100,000 that you put in and 10 years later, the market has tanked and your investment is now $50,000, the maturity guarantee will top you right back up to that original $100,000. You can't just get that with a mutual fund. Another guarantee that segregated funds have is called a bypass probate. So what that is when you invest your money in segregated funds and you pass away, if your money is in mutual funds, it's going to have to go through probate, which is the legal process that goes through the courts when there's a will and everything has to be identified and disclosed. With segregated funds, you bypass that probate, which also keeps your information and your money that's held within segregated funds private from other people wanting to look up the information. Now, do people do that? I mean, they can. And if you've got a lot of money, you don't want people to know how much money you had when you passed, as well as who you're leaving the money to. So this also can save a lot of time because probate could take up to months and it could save you a ton of money in fees. Now, there's another protection which is called a creditor protection. Now, this is huge if you have a small business or if you're self-employed. So basically, if you need to file bankruptcy or you need to file a consumer proposal because your business has failed, having your money in segregated funds could protect you that way that you may not have to give them back and divulge them within the bankruptcy or consumer proposal. And the reason is because segregated funds, they are considered an insurance product because there's an insurance wrapper on them. So even though they are still professionally managed and they still have the same growth potential as mutual funds, you can't buy a segregated fund from the bank. And that's probably why a lot of people have not heard of them. You have to buy them from somebody like an advisor, like myself, who specializes in insurance products. And so that's why it doesn't have to be disclosed. Well, it's not that it doesn't have to be disclosed, but you are protected that way. So if you're a business owner, you may want to consider having your funds in segregated funds. Now, one of the benefits that my clients do prefer the most is the death benefit guarantee of segregated funds. So I'm going to give you another example. So let's just say we have that same $100,000 and you invested it in a mutual fund. So you invested today in a mutual fund. Tomorrow, the market crashes to $50,000. And the day after that, unfortunately, you pass away. How much money is your beneficiary going to get? Well, if your money's in a mutual fund, they're going to get the $50,000 because that's what's left in there. However, if your money was in a segregated fund, you get to reap the benefit of what's called a death benefit guarantee. And what the death benefit guarantee does is it tops you back up to the original amount that you put in. So if your portfolio was $100,000 and then your seg funds dropped to $50,000 because the market's tanked, and then you pass away the next day, guess what your beneficiary is going to get? The $100,000. And what that does is it creates peace of mind so that you don't have to lay awake at night wondering, what's happening in the world with tariffs and all those sorts of things, and if your portfolio is going to decline, because you know that you are protected with a death benefit guarantee. Mutual funds are protected with the same portfolio managers, so you're getting the expertise and knowledge of your funds being able to grow substantially, just like they were with mutual funds, but you're getting all of these guarantees. So let's summarize. So we talked about the maturity guarantee, we talked about the creditor protection, we talked about the ability to bypass probate, and then we also talked about the death benefit guarantee. So I hope this helps you, and I hope that you're going to be able to sleep better at night because you're going to want to move your mutual funds into segregated funds.